Page 38, Mr. McGill. They say they're combining C and G 5-finger scales, the 5-finger positions. Okay, well, whatever the notes need, that's what we'll do. Let's look this mess over. Good grief. It's 2 pages long. Treble and bass clef, 4/4 time. We got a few F sharps stuck in there. We could deal with those. And we got 8th notes all over the place again. And the notes are all over the place. I like to learn a new piece of music one hand at a time first, to make sure we got each hand an idea what it's doing, because then when I go to put the hands together, it's usually a whole new adventure. So I'm going to start with the right hand here at the beginning. Let's focus on that. So the right hand starts here. You don't need these other finger numbers for a while. You only need finger numbers when you need to move around. Please don't be reading finger numbers. You should know the names of these notes by now anyway. So it's 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and that's tied to beat 3. So again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and that's tied. And then measure 3. You come in on beat 3. 3 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. You do that some more. Measure 7. You're here, F sharp, and then an F natural. I'm using the same finger. And then the right hand doesn't play again until measure 13, and you have to come up to G position. It tells you to prepare. That's sweet. That's not part of the music. That's just, you should know that, well, if I'm up in this position, I have to move. So you're 1 and 2 and. There's nothing really tricky here until you get to measure 16, where you're here. During the rest, you got to come back down to C position. Just lift up and move. Okay. At the end, last line, measure 23. Again. Just reach up to the octave and C. Here. Left hand, let's see what it's about. Well, you're starting a C chord, then the G7 chord. Measure 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay. Now, on measure 8, you're here. You lift up, you're going to lift up for the phrase, and as you lift up, you got to move. There's no rest. You just move up here. You're not moving far. You can almost reach it. Just lift up and move, because now we need to be in this position. So again, measure 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You're up in here for a while. Okay. Measure 17, you got to be back up here, but you have a bunch of rest. You got plenty of time. Put the hands together and let's see what happens. And we're just trying to check to see when the notes are played together. Don't worry about hesitating, it's fine. So we're starting here at the beginning, these notes, and then here, and the measure 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then here, these notes and these. It's 1 and 2 and. You do that again. Let's go to measure 8. Here, you're here. Now the right hand can take a rest. It's the left hand's got to come down. And somewhere in there around measure 12 or so, you got to get the right hand up. So it's ready to go on measure 13. You're playing the same note names, but different fingers. And during the rest, the right hand comes down, and as you're playing this, the left hand comes up. So you're moving it one hand at a time. I like that. Rest. Don't always try and move both hands at the same time. If possible, do it one hand at a time. So it's rest and there. So once you kind of have a handle on that, and then you go through it a few hundred times or whatever, and you gradually work out the hesitation. So it's a steady beat. Keep it slow is fine, but a steady beat. And once you have that, then we can think about the articulation. You have phrasing in the sentences. Lift up before you go on. the phrasing, you get staccatos at measure 9, 10. Here, staccato and accent. Be careful on the staccato. The tendency when you do the staccato and you push up, you'll accent it. Don't. It gets a natural accent because it's the first beat of the measure, but don't give it an accent. So you give the syncopated note an accent. It tells you to accent. And according to what the words are doing, I am separating these measures. I'm putting lift up, lift up. I'm separating because my tendency is I want to connect the notes. Connect it. But that's not what the words are doing, so I'm going to go ahead and lift up to stay in with what the words are doing. There's just different ways of interpreting it. So you go through and put in the staccatos and accents and phrasing and all that, and then when you feel you're ready, we think about the dynamics. They go to the melody, wherever it is, mezzo forte at the beginning, moderately loud, whatever you think. These chords need to be soft. The measure 3, it's all melody, but then in measure 4, it's the right hand. The left hand's got to go soft. So the right hand on measure 3 is out. Measure 4 it's soft. Huh? So watch out on the left hand whether you're playing melody or not. Then on measure 15 you get an F for forte. That's loud. And that's the melody, which is the right hand. I know both hands are playing the same note. But it really, to me, the melody's in the right hand. The left hand is still harmony. It just happens to be an octave or 2 apart. Because it starts on measure 13 when they're together. They're playing the same note, but the melody's still in the right hand. And then come down to moderately loud. Like you were at the beginning. Yeah. And the last line is loud then, whatever. The left hand's in the background. That last chord, that's both hands, because there's no melody there. It's just boom, very loud and staccato. It's loud because of the forte, and it's very loud because it's accented. Just take it up. And then we think about the speed. Well, lively. Not too lively. It needs to be accurate. So don't go faster than accurate. If you're going to sing it, how fast would you sing it? To me, that's about it. It's not the speed of the beat we're talking about, it's the overall flow of the piece. So all these eighth notes are going to slow it down a little bit. Let's play this together very, very slowly and double check all the notes and the rhythms. We're not going to do any dynamics. And again, because we're doing eighth notes, I'm going to put the metronome on eighth notes. So it's beating eighth notes, but I'm going to go ahead and give us 4 quarter notes count in to come in. 1 and 2 and ready and go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 3 and 4 thin.